Okay, so this is an unboxing and a first look at my Apple Watch. This is the stainless steel with the black rubber band, and it is a beautiful watch. I'm going to spoil this by just saying that right up front. It's extremely well made. It's a typical look and feel of a quality Apple product, and the unboxing is typical Apple, well done, almost to an extent where it's overdone, to tell you the truth. I mean, who cares about the box after you have the watch and you're using it? The box ends up somewhere, right? You're not going to really use it. But that's neither here nor there. My overall impressions setup was pretty quick and easy. Not quite as quick as I thought it would be. The syncing and things like that took a little bit longer than I thought it would take, but not really overly so. The the entire experience of unboxing it, receiving it, and all that was very nice. And I had high expectations for this watch, even though a lot of people have given kind of mediocre reviews. I thought that that was just typical what reviewers do. They don't like to say everything positive about a product. They like to nitpick it anywhere they can. The one thing that I didn't see in most of the reviews, and I actually asked some of the reviewers on this, and I got a reply back from one about the direct sunlight, viewing the screen in the direct sunlight. And I'm going to tell you, there's two things that have me on the fence now about this watch as to whether or not I'm going to keep it or not. And that is, number one, the screen is not as readable as my high-end sport watches are without my reading glasses on. When I'm out and about, most of the time I don't have my reading glasses on. I just need them for reading. And most of my high-end sport watches, I can easily read the time, especially in direct sunlight, without putting on my reading glasses, which is a big plus. This watch, I can still read it without the reading glasses, but not as clearly. And so for me personally, that's a knock. For those of you that don't have to wear reading glasses, not an issue. And you can see how gorgeous it is here in the box. And that's with the plastic still around it. I'm going to take the plastic off here in a moment. But the other issue that I asked about was daylight. What is this thing like to look at in bright daylight? Because my iPhone is not that easy to read in bright sunlight. Now, if you go in the shade, it's fine. But a lot of times I'm out at events and so forth, and usually it's the middle of the day and it's bright sunlight. And I spend half the year in Florida. Of course, we know it's always sunny there. So I'm out and about all the time. I'm outdoors a lot. And so for me, that's a big factor. For some people, that might not be a factor at all. If they're indoors most of the time, not an issue. Again, it's going to be your personal preference and your personal needs. So again, look at the gorgeous fit and finish on this thing. The quality of it is just astounding. I went on Watch You Seek, the Watch You Seek forum, and somebody was talking about how the Swiss manufacturers could learn a lot from Apple on fit and finish and quality and the way the bands work and all that. They really have nailed it for a first generation product. They've really nailed the quality on this, I have to say. But getting back to that issue of readability, if I'm going to have a problem most of the time, and there it is next to my Rolex, which again, that watch there is not as easy to read as some of my sport watches, but arguably it's as easy to read as the Apple Watch. And now this is before the Apple Watch was activated, so that's why the screen wasn't turning on. And again, here I've not yet activated it. I just put it on my wrist for the first time just to see how it feels on the wrist. And now I'm going to go through the activation process, which again took a little bit of time, but not ridiculously so. And pairing it with the iPhone went fairly smoothly. And what I did was I just, by the way, this takes a little picture of that like funny kind of barcode there, the squiggly stuff all moving around, and it takes a picture of that, and that's how it mates. Pretty cool. Apple has a real cool factor. There's no denying that. So after I did this, I went ahead and one of the choices is just to install all the apps. So I just went ahead and installed them all. And once it was done, it was interesting. I got a phone call in relatively short order, and I was just surprised to see the watch ring, and I could have answered the call right on the watch. So that was That was pretty wild Dick Tracy moment. That is a plus for me because, again, I cover events and my hands are full often with camera gear and so forth. And if I can take a quick call on the wrist and just tell people, hey, I'll call you back or I'll be home at a certain time or whatever, that's a lot easier than trying to fumble for my phone for sure. So here it is going through this whole process. And I edited out some of this, but I left in quite a bit because some of you all might be interested in more of the detail of some of this and that. And there I'm putting in, I think, my password. That's why I took it off the screen. But it's not a big ordeal pairing it with your phone and setting it up. So that's the process that we're seeing here. Some more thoughts on the one thing on the band, that rubber band. What you have to do is you have to wrap it around your wrist and then lock it in. I'm using the third hole from the tightest, and then what you do is you thread the rubber band inside of itself after you've locked it into the stainless steel stud, and that's a quick and easy way to put it on. And once you get used to doing that, I've only done it a couple of times, it's pretty quick and easy to put on, and it really does fit snug to your wrist and it feels really comfortable. I have a Seiko SBDC 007 Shogun Titanium, which I proclaim the best watch ever made because it's so comfortable. This watch rivals that in comfort, absolutely rivals it in comfort. So here we go, there it is, starting up for the first time and putting that watch face on there, and again, looks pretty good in regular light, in room light or whatever, as long as you don't get a reflection on it. Looks pretty good, very easy to read, very crisp and clear, with my reading glasses on. And again, if you don't need reading glasses, you're not going to have that issue. But look at the fit and finish and look at the quality of that thing overall, and it is nice. And I've switched it to the modular face, and I might switch it back to one of the other faces, but I kind of like the modular face because it suits the square form factor. There's how you get to your contacts and so forth. And next I'm going to show you a shot of it out in the sun. So this was one of the first things I did once I got it working, was I took it outside, and here I am in bright sunlight about noon, and you can see it's pretty washed out looking, and you can just really just barely read it in my estimation. And to me, Apple, come on, that's not good enough. Here it is in the shade. Look how readable it is there in the shade. So they should have a way of sensing that you're in bright sunlight, and they should crank that up somehow. By the way, here it is on my night table charging. I just wanted to show how that would work. You have a little magnetic thing on the back, and there's my phone charging next to it. So each night I'll just charge the phone and the watch. So anyway, I'll have some follow-ups on this and some details on things I really like about it and don't like about it, but I just wanted to give you the big overview. And what I think is kind of a fail is that daylight viewing. Let me know what you think, and please subscribe to my channel.